Hello guys, this is my trading journal for Wednesday the 24th of March, and it was yet another volatile session in the equity markets. All the major indices were down and the Nasdaq fared the worst out of all of them. The Nasdaq was down about 2%. The Russell was also down about 2%. And it appears this week that the market dynamics are changing from the last couple of weeks. So last week or the last couple of weeks, the playbook was if the yield and rates went up, tech would sell off and the growth stocks would also sell off, and vice versa. Well, today the yield on the rates went down and still the tech sector sold off. The value stocks also sold off. They didn't fare much better. And it appears today was just a general risk-off day. The people were just taking off risk. And the VIX, on the other hand, had a good day. It was a risk-off day, and many fund managers were buying downside protection, and that pushed up the VIX, and it closed above the 20 level yet again, as fear and uncertainty is being priced in, and that pushed it higher. So the VIX closed at 21.2 today, and that simply means the risk premium received for selling credit spreads just got a bit richer. Over 20, risk premiums tend to be much higher. There are now 23 days until the March contract expires, and as I mentioned over the weekend, I'm going to start looking at the weeklies for selling spreads. In terms of trade ideas, I had no new trade ideas today. Moving on to my open positions, GNOG was down massively today. GNOG was down, I think, about 12% today, and I had to send an email to the Tasty team to basically lodge a complaint. So when I put on this trade, one of the things on my checklist is to check if there's any earnings coming up. There was no earnings flag on GNOG when I opened the position. But at the market close yesterday, I got an alert that GNOG was about to announce their earnings. So I fired off an email to the Tasty support and Tasty trade desk, and they got back in touch and informed me that the market data feed that they rely on or that they use for the earnings calendar did not include GNOG. So they have in turn lodged a complaint with the vendor. These things happen occasionally. They don't happen all the time, but it's one of those things, and it's not all bad news as far as GNOG is concerned. I looked at the numbers. The numbers were not particularly bad, but they were not great. The main issue was they made a couple of acquisitions during the last quarter, and as part of buying those two companies, they absorbed the losses of those companies, and that tipped them into the red for the quarter. And although the acquisition is seen as a positive in terms of market share, they expect the losses to be a one-off item. The stock, however, sold off heavily today, and the market's sell-off, the overall sell-off in the market, gave it some more gas to the downside. But with 23 days to go, a lot can happen. I'm keeping my eye on this one, but for now, no action is required. The second position is in BLUE. Sold the 30-25 put spread on this one, and BLUE was also down today. This stock was pushed down with the rest of the market. It's already at a very low end of the 2-year price range. Not much further room down to the downside, and no damage done here as far as the spread trade is concerned. It will probably get a bounce. The 30 level has been a magnet for blue, and no action required on this one for now. In terms of my watch list, I have got two items on my watch list, and these are two stocks I'm keeping an eye on for weeklies, not for the regular expiry, but for the weeklies. So I'm looking at TAN and I'm looking at XBI. So TAN, $84 stock, implied volatility is 52, and XBI, it's a biotech ETF, it's an $18 stock, and implied volatility is not XBIT, XBI $131, implied volatility 50. So this is XBI. It has got weekly contracts, and the weekly contract I'm looking at is April 30th. This one here that has 37 days to go. And the other one was TAN. I'm looking at the same contract in TAN, TAN. TAN has also got weekly options with a W. I'm also looking at the April 30th with 37 days to go. And that brings me to the end of my journal for today. The main highlight is I've got my eyes on a couple of stocks to sell a weekly spread on. Please be on the lookout for a possible trade idea on the weekly contracts. And that's about it. Thank you very much and goodbye.